Hey guys, I just got a message from one of my coaching clients who shared with me that for the first time in his life, he feels like he's actually in control of his relationship. And this was not because of some secret game or trick that he learned with me. It was simply because he learned how to use sexual energy and sexual flirtation with his girl in a way that he's never done before. So today we are going to get into what that is all about so you can bring that same energy to your relationship if you find yourself in a similar position that my client was in. But before we get into that, I just want to give you a quick side note because it has been a little bit since I've done a video. And for the last month, it's just been very crazy over here. I actually just got back from Miami where I was doing in-person coaching with two different clients. We had a great time. It's really cool to obviously meet you guys in person. We talk a lot over Zoom, but when you're able to get together in person, there are just certain things that are just 10 times more impactful. They learn things that perhaps I can't share with them over digital Zoom calls like this. They see me interacting with people, they see me interacting with women, and they can observe some of the things that I teach them in person playing out in real time. So I just want to share that with you that, obviously, most of my coaching is over Zoom, but this is actually the third. So I've done 3 in-person coachings now this year, and they've been a blast. Okay, let's cut to the video here. So like I said, one of my clients, for the very first time in his life, he feels like he's in control. And let me read you what he had said, okay? He says that, I just wanted to share with you that I'm making sure that I'm consistently using your advice, that it's always good to be playful with some sexual banter thrown in. And she's really enjoying it a ton. Okay, so far this girl has been so receptive to everything that you have taught me, and it's been great. For once, I feel like I'm in control. So one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of the men that I coach is that they get too serious. They get over serious, and they get over worried that if they say things at all in a sexual nature, that woman is going to be offended, okay? And a lot of guys came up with the belief that they have to see women beyond just something that they find sexually attractive, okay? It's been essentially beaten out of our minds that if you associate your own sexual desires and feelings with a woman, that somehow you're superficial and that somehow you're almost like a savage or barbaric. And it's sort of forced men to castrate themselves in the modern dating marketplace. They become overly nice. They become the nice guy, the proverbial nice guy. They diminish any of their desires and their feelings of sexuality towards that woman, even though they might have them. And so what ends up happening is they resort to very nice guy compliments, like you look nice, or saying, oh, she's very smart. Things like this that, while they may be true, aren't really true to his natural feelings, instincts, and desires. And what happens is women can feel when you're holding back. Women can feel when you're being inauthentic, okay? If you say, oh, you look very nice, when in reality you're thinking, God damn, you look incredibly gorgeous tonight. When you say, oh, you look very nice, or if you don't say anything at all with regards to how you think about the way she looks, women can feel this and in turn sense a bit of inauthenticity from you as a man, right? And one of the most important things for you to remember is that women thrive off of being an object of desire. For as much as they say they don't want to be treated like an object or don't want to be objectified, there's nothing further from the truth. They spend countless dollars on makeup supplies trying to make themselves look beautiful, to look younger, to look better for men in their life, okay? Being an object of desire is what fulfills them, and there's nothing wrong with that. Females want to look pretty. Men want to look competent and strong. This is the difference between the sexes, and you should not feel any sort of shame if you want to celebrate and enjoy that as a man with a woman. Okay. So this particular coaching client had never in the past indulged in telling his girlfriend how he felt when it came to sexual energy. Okay. He didn't throw any flirtatious comments, text messages, in person, one liners, nothing like that. And it really affected his past relationship because it flatlined. He felt stifled and he could never get a leg up and feel like a true leader within the relationship because he was always holding back. So he comes into the program, and this is one of the things that we discussed and that I pointed out to him that I let him know that your woman wants to feel like she turns you on. Okay, this is a very important point for a woman to feel. If she doesn't feel that you're attracted to her or find her sexy or arousing, she's going to start to pull back. Okay. And there's been a lot of times where just in a sexual nature, let's say you're sexually intimate with a woman, it takes you as a man a while to get off. Okay. This could be very offensive to women. They want to know, well, what's wrong? Why aren't you attracted to me? Don't you find me attractive? It may be just something else going on in that man's life that have nothing to do with her physical appearance, but women take it that way. Okay, so this is, again, why, as a man, you need to get comfortable with your own sexuality and expressing that to the woman in your life. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to be a horny hound dog every single day, but there is an absolute requirement to be okay with your sexuality, but able to say it in a way that you don't have any expectations. You have to be able to give that compliment and express your desire without necessarily expecting something back in return. This is a free give. This is a free compliment. This is a free. This is something to make her feel good. Now, that doesn't mean that you should put up with being in the friend zone. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm just saying, when you're with your girl, being able to give her compliments, not with the intention that you want something in return. Now, obviously, when you behave like this, she's going to feel that way and most likely want to be intimate with you. But you shouldn't be saying solely for the purpose of just getting something back, okay? You, as a man, just want to indulge and live freely. When women feel that you march to the beat of your own drum, when you feel something, you say something. And this isn't just when it comes to matters of sexuality, okay? If you're irritated about something, if something bothers you, or if you're really pleased with something, you say what's on your mind in a confident way, not a way that kisses ass, or not a way that is a suck up or trying to collect brownie points, okay? You live unapologetically and you don't have any strings attached. So anyway, this particular gentleman, because he's embodying his ability to enjoy his woman on a sexual level, he now feels more fully in control, and she is so receptive to it. Okay, I have a little text example here. We can take a look, where he said, "If you were my science teacher, I would definitely be interested in biology, if you know what I mean." And then she goes, "I can't with you. I don't know how you come up with these, LOL. Brilliant." And then he goes on to say, I just try my best. You may need to tutor me on the human body this weekend." And she's like, "When?" So, and he's been telling me along the way, because I've been working with him for a few months now, that she's always open to this. She's receptive. She likes it when he says certain things to her that's completely out of the blue of a sexual nature. It just gets her into her feelings, which is how women experience the world. How do you make them feel? Not how do you make them think, okay? And when you pepper in these beautiful, flirtatious lines, or these lines with some sexual innuendo, they respond to it really, really well. You are letting them know that, hey, I find you absolutely irresistible. I find you attractive, and I want you. And this is something that is important for her to feel. Now, again, this is not to be done in some simpish pedestalization way. You could say it and have absolutely no strings attached. That is where you need to be, okay? But being able to express this as a man is essential. So for those of you holding back because you're afraid, because you think that it's going to come off as rude or offensive. You need to get this out of your mind and be able to own acknowledging how you feel and how she turns you on when you're together with her. Okay. Now, first date, no, you don't really need to indulge that much because, like I said, you're still getting to know her. These are meant as rewards for a girl who's starting to invest in you. You know, have there been times on a first date where I was complimenting a girl on her looks? Yes, absolutely. But it wasn't the first thing that I said. There's been some rapport building, maybe an hour or two into it, where we get up and go somewhere else and I get to see her for the first time, her full physicality. I may mention something like that because I'm owning it. Okay, I'm not saying it to kiss her ass or hopefully she'll, like me more. I say it in a way that just owns it. So if you can do it in that way, then yeah, there is room for that on a first date. But generally, this is reserved for when a girl starts to more invest in you and you are rewarding her by letting her know that you find her desirable and attractive. And she will love this. And it's a way to gain more intimacy from her, to get her hooked more tightly onto you. And like I said, it'll make you feel like you are the man who's leading the relationship and are in control because, again, your words pull out the desire from her. So if you're struggling with this, maybe you're a guy who has a girlfriend and cannot seem to figure out how to balance that expression of desire towards her, or you just simply don't know how, and you'd like to receive my personal one-on-one coaching, there's a link down below where you can sign up for a free consult call with me. It's an opportunity for me to hear a little bit more about you, where you're struggling, where you're getting stuck, and if it seems like a good fit, I'll walk you through how my coaching program works. All right, guys, that does it for this video. I will see you in the next one.